welcome everybody to the all improved Wednesday webinars. My name is Thomas Atkinson from FX Evolution. As always, I'm joined by the illustrious Tyrone, and we're in dual vision, 1080p, not 4K, but 1080p. How you going, man?
Oh, this is great. I'm loving the new setup. We've got bits and pieces everywhere. We've got risk warnings we don't have to worry about anymore. We're fully protected with Tom's big risk warning at the top. We've got half-screen cameras. Man, I'm going to have to start probably wearing a suit again.
That's
Look
right.
out.
That's right.
Welcome,
Good.
everyone. Looking forward to getting into this market. Hey, we've got some good stuff happening, yeah? A lot of the big moves are starting to happen for us, which is awesome. And we've got a lot of these fancy new tricks that we're going to bring to you. The webinar is going to take a new look now. Like, this is probably the first iteration, I'd say. So definitely give us your feedback. We're hoping that you can see the charts a bit bigger now. We've had a lot of feedback on that. So hopefully that is the case now. But let's jump into the markets and we'll take some questions a bit later. So we've got a lot of people already asking questions, which is awesome.
Absolutely, Ty. I'll just quickly close that program. That'll confirm the clipping. Okay, so we're going to start off here with obviously our currency movements. Then we'll go into the commodities. Then we'll move into, and we've got some interesting commodities discussions today. Then we'll move into the indices and, of course, stocks and crypto. So plenty to cover over the next 45 minutes. Let's move through the dollar index to get started here, Ty. And I just want to discuss this point. And we are at the tippity top, aren't we? We're at the point where the dollar index is going to take a really serious move. This is the resistance that we've found twice now. We're back at this level. I'm looking for a 93.20 plus closure, Ty, at least over here. I want it above all these wicks and a closure. What are your thoughts? Looks good, yeah?
100%. Yeah, it's come off. Look, it's done all the things that you wanted to do. It's come back. It's touched the 20 moving average, which is far enough away to get some good momentum before the resistance again. If it breaks through, she's going to 94.80. It's going to be an inverse head and shoulders as well, I've just actually noticed. If it does get that close above 93.20, there will be an inverse head and shoulders there with that shoulder resting on the 20 moving average and breaking a neckline and a key neckline at that, which is going to be, that's death to the euro. Like the euro's going down to at least probably 116, 115.50 maybe if this one really takes off. So really good to see this happen. It's been a long time in the making. We've been, the strength has been there. You go, well, what time frame? I'm not sure what time frame that is. Is that a monthly? That's a massive double bottom. Damn. Like that's that's on a monthly. Like you break up that and you're seeing some big moves. You're going to get back into the 95s, 96s, and you're going to see a very, very low euro on that. And of course, that's going to bring about, the 70 cent Aussie dollar, of course, and we'll go to that a little bit later. We're going to see all the things that we want to see. So this is the ideal break. I mean, we've got a bias here mainly because I think the trading opportunities on a break of this level are really, really sexy compared to the alternative, which is a stale market if it sells off. If it turns around from here and meanders, it's going to give us a flat market, and that's all right. We've had that for a while now. I think it's time we started to see some good trends so we can really get some good swing trading happening again. But that is looking really good. Really good.
Yeah, the monthly here is crazy. I mean, imagine if we can see how powerful the 20 is on the monthly. You get a closure above this at the same time you break past what was effectively a pin bar, shooting star, whatever you want to call it. This is a big deal. And then we start that really large double bottom, as Tyrone said, that can push into something like a 96. That's like a sustained potential run here on currency markets. And we were discussing this the other day, Ty. A few people were saying, actually in the mentoring group, I think as well, they were like, Ty, do you think the currency is going to come back alive? I tell you what, it may well do if we get these levels through because currency trading's been slow, but it's like the money's moving back in, monetary policy's changing because of all the things going on in the world, and some are worse, some are better. So things are happening here in currency. We move over to euro, same thing, obviously inversed. And if we go over to the daily, Ty, you talked about this today. How important is this support here at the 117 kind of?
Critical support. And if it breaks down, which we're really hoping it does, the target is a very clear target, right? 116 sort of 10 to 20, really, really easy 80 pips if it breaks through there. Like that's going to be, a walk in the park for the euro, really. So, but we need to see that break, right? This is a pretty strong level. This is a pretty serious level. It's one of those ones where we have to see a daily break below it. But if we do, it's going to be happy days.
I think any of these kind of scenarios, movement through, close below, could be a scaling opportunity as well. Obviously, you need dollar index to come with it, Ty, but that's what we expect. We expect that type of thing to occur. We move over to the pound here, a little bit stronger on the pound. There's some clear, I guess, closer supports, which is the thing I'm looking at. So we have closer support here And then after that, we've obviously got this one. The pound does look weak, just like all the rest, which we expect against the US as the US is strengthening. But does this look weaker or stronger, Ty?
No, this
Overall?
has been, I think the tale of the whole year actually has been that the pound has been stronger than its counterparts. And I don't think it's any different now, really. Like, you can even look at it. I mean, you look at it on a chart and you wouldn't say it's the weakest pair you've ever seen. Like, it's going more sideways than anything else. Yes, it's going down, but not to the extent. You look at the Euro USD and the Aussie USD and you see a very determined downtrend, where here, it's just sort of hovering around. And that's why I think when we look at the pound dot, I think it speaks volumes for what it's potentially about to do as well. But of the three, if you're looking for strength, this is the one that's got it.
Yeah, this seems to be the one that I feel like's got the most strength. Move over to the odd. Guys in the room, you should have been in this one short. I don't see any reason why currency traders that know what they're doing with the course, the ultimate trading masterclass, Ty, with the price action that we teach, with everything, we very clearly detailed the weakness here on the odd, and it's hit target one. Personally, I'd be probably out of this now, or at least scaled out partially. Pretty hard. That's the way I think about it. I was talking with somebody today about this. I was talking about this level. I like taking some profit here, then seeing how it plays out with the dollar index, and obviously underneath this, Tie. I mean, we're talking 70, aren't we?
70.
We're talking 70.
Yeah, for sure. I don't. I'd be surprised if anyone missed that. Like, I was talking about that on the Friday wrap. We knew the level it had to break. It was a very, very easy level to break, really, and it did it. It behaved itself on a 4-hour time frame. I hope a lot of people got that, because they're the sorts of ones that you're really waiting for to play out for you. That really give you the what would you call it? You'd probably say, the confidence that technical analysis does work. I mean, we know we see it day in, day out that it works, but when you see that happen, and it's so obvious that it's going to. I think it gives people the confidence. So I really hope that a lot of people got that, because it was a pretty easy trade.
Yeah, it was. And let's just break down the 2 hour here just to talk about this. So we see that downward, that trend line here. The trend line gets broken, gets interacted with again, and then we have movements. Now, I think there's a few different triggers. You could have gone just short and had to stop above here. Also, when this closed below, I think this is absolutely its go down. You're seeing the weakness. You got a lower peak to this peak over here, as you can see. Then you get the big support. The support breaks, bang, boom goes the dynamite. Big move down. Kilted got it. A few other people got it. Very, very nice. Mark Francis says, my US dollar odd alerts pinged me when I was on the golf course, so I could not enter.
How good
just so you know, golf is not necessarily the sport where you can't just say, hey guys, I got to drink some water, and then you just quickly press the button. Press the button, guys.
Jeez. Mark,
hey, that is how golf is. You're just like putting. Yeah. You're like, oh, I'll just put it through.
Yeah. Mark, are you coming to the conference? Are you actually? I'm not sure if you are or not. Have you registered for the conference yet? Because if you are, maybe you can be FX Evolution's representative on the golf course. Because I know I'm not good at it at all. And Thomas, I thought Thomas was pretty good. Apparently, he was.
Oh no.
He's
I'm not good. I have played golf. I know you haven't really played much golf. I have played golf. I like to meander around. It's been a while.
Look, I'm not going to lie. I've played golf.
Rusty irons, Ty. Rusty irons.
I played golf on the Nintendo Switch. I'm not sure if that's the same thing. But
you mean like Mario Golf?
Yeah, Mario Golf.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But that's as far as my golf ability goes. But that's all right. Mark's going to be our representative. He can be the FX Evolution team, because Chris Weston's talking a big game. So,
is he?
Yeah,
Chris
apparently.
probably plays like every second day or something. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe he does. We could get one of our clients up there, Ty. He'll probably kick everyone's ass. That'd be funny. Yeah. All right, so let's quickly move through this. We've got New Zealand as well from Perry. Sounds like Perry was in on this one. Yep, another good trade, good kind of style of trade. I think there's no problems here. There's also central bank policy there, though. The New Zealand has been actually very much stronger than the odd. I feel like the odd was better, but I totally see why you're in this type of thing. Okay, let's keep moving through here. So Euro Pound, we've been flagging that one for a while. It's been weakening. It had that one false break above. Let's have a look at that on the weekly just so we can see that full rejection. Look at this weekly on the downtrend. Wow, Ty. It just keeps going down, 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 down. Weekly cannot breach with the closure. And then it just hit that earlier this week. Notice these last kind of wicks. Go to the 8-hour chart here. I actually don't mind what I'm seeing right now from this market. Like we talked about Euro being potentially weaker than than the pound. We've got a couple of rejections. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Okay, so we've got that nice triple rejection coming off this zone. Closure below. Stop hunt. Very much stop hunty. What do you think, Ty? About it right at this point.
Yeah, it's playing the game, really, isn't it? I mean, especially with what we've talked about, with the interesting. I'm not enjoying this pair at the moment. I'm not enjoying it. Not as much as I'm enjoying the pound odd. I don't know.
Not enjoying the pound odd? The euro? Oh, the pound odd, you mean? Yeah, we talked about that one.
Oh, the pound odd is nice. I enjoy that one more. I don't like to. It's a little bit like, I find it a bit weird when people have chicken and beef on the same dish when they're having dinner. It's a bit strange when you're mixing your meats. And I think it's a bit the same when you're trading too many pound pairs.
Not if you're at like a Lebanese place. That's all delicious. I'm
is
with
it just
that.
me? I just can't do it. I just can't eat. I can't eat chicken and beef on the same plate, and it just seems a little bit strange to me. But it's a little bit the same. Pound odd, pound, or the euro pound. When you start to get a little bit crossy, what happens? I find, and this is probably a lesson for people who want to trade every single thing they see, is that you end up getting a little bit conflicted, and your good trades will get outdone by your bad trades just simply through market movement. So I'm a very big advocate of picking your poison, find the best setup there is, and this is the best setup there is. Look, that's sexy.
This is a good setup. Like I was actually I won't mention names today, but I was actually talking about this exact one, Ty. We were talking about whether this is a double bottom, the way the price was interacting with this zone, and more importantly, the type of daily, weekly kind of closes we've had.
Yeah.
So on the daily, looks pretty good. Obviously, right now it's going to all-time highs. Now we know with the pound odd, when it gets on a run, it can be very runny. And it's gone through the weekly. It's gone back to the mean reversion on the daily, Ty. It's hit the 20. Yeah. It's going for a bullish close here. It's already done a really good entry point earlier. If you were going for the bull side, the trend is up, and the next level. I mean, wow, it's got to be maybe. I mean, is it there? Is it even higher? Like, let's have a look here.
Higher.
Maybe go to the weekly. I think
we just have to factor in that if this does strengthen, it's going to probably signal. You'd have to think that the Aussie would be well and truly at the 70-cent mark, sometime soon if the dollar keeps strengthening. And we've already isolated that we think the pound is stronger than all of its counterparts. So it stands to reason that you'd think, it's got a couple of hundred pips in it, I would have thought. It looks strong.
I think, this is the beast, it's one of the beast pairs, the beastie pair. The new pound odd is the new pound yen. So it's moving through, and I think that's doing a really nice job of getting it done. I just specifically like the way that it was interacting with this zone over here, Ty.
Yeah.
It's looking for a closure above what was a rejection. You've got rejection, 4-hour could be above. It all depends on some things, but as you say, with the price action, with the double bottom, with the stop losses either under here, or even under the last swing, the long leg doji, the bullishness that's that's not enough closure above, so I don't like that. But I do like the channeling, the range.
Yeah, the range is nice. Yeah, it's doing all the right things. One thing about the pound odd, it can be hard to trade when it's not playing the game, but when it's playing the game, it's one of the best pairs to trade because you get the movement in a hurry. Your swing trades happen very quickly. And I know it doesn't look like it's pulled back a lot recently. And, if you look at it on a daily chart, it looks like it's just gone for a run and hasn't stopped. But it can do that. And there's no reason for the cross pairs don't have to stop. It's the majors that find support and resistance a lot earlier than cross pairs. So, this thing will keep going as long as the Aussie is weaker than the pound. That's just how it is.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's a cross pair, as you said. Yeah. We've got a question coming in here from Donkin Dave. We will answer this a little bit later, but I'll remember it. It says, hey, guys, if we assume the market will correct 10% in September, that would be a wild September if that happened. How would I make money on puts on the indices? S&P, Nasdaq, Dow. Buy 60-day puts just out of the money. Enjoy the show. Spreads, sir. Spreads. So you wouldn't just buy You wouldn't just buy a straight put. You'd probably, you would do is you need to preempt where it is. We'll look at it when Ty can go through it with you when we get to the indices. Yeah,
buying puts is expensive, Donkin Dave.
Oh
you want to be doing spreads. Spreads are better, less risk, but you can load up a little bit more on them. But at least you got fixed risk as well. Yeah, puts can be very expensive, especially when the market's shaky. Look, we're not the only ones, suspecting a weakness in September. Make no mistake, like it happens every year for the last 150 years, right? So, the whole world's expecting it. It's just a matter of time.
On
and of
average,
course
guys, on average.
that puts what it's like. I'll just quickly touch on it now. What it's like, put premium and call premium for that matter, is insurance, right? What you're effectively doing is buying insurance. Now, if you are a P-plater and you drive a high-performance vehicle, you drive at night, you only drive Saturday nights, and you like to drink as well, how much do you think you're going to be paying for your insurance? A lot, right? That's exactly how puts work. When the market is in a very, very suspect area, an area where everybody thinks it's going to go short, in effect, very high risk, just like a P-plate driver with all that things going against them, that is what you're paying. You're paying an extraordinary premium to get into those puts. And that's why you need to balance that out with spread. So you're actually selling away, you're selling away some of your downside, but when you do it right, you're able to actually increase the contract sizes. So you'll find that it'll actually balance out.
I actually quite like what I'm seeing here on the US dollar yen as well, Ty. A bunch of like a really good base, long leg doji, closure above, consolidation, long leg doji, and then bullish movement up. I mean, it's not like I wouldn't call it like a trade I have to. Like I would say, would I put $10,000 risk on a trade? And if I wouldn't, then I probably wouldn't take it. But it is interesting price action here. You can see the weekly, you can see the rejections, how much they've been going. What's your opinion on the US dollar yen?
Do you mean like $10,000 risk on a $10,000 account? Because that would be kind of sexy if you said that. Can you say that? Just say it for the audience, Thomas. Will you risk your whole account
when you buy SPY over a 10-year period? When you buy SPY over a 10-year period, $10,000. No, what I mean is if you had like $1 million, you got to think about big money. You got to think big money. You can't think small money. I'm not thinking 10
I think
bucks.
It's pulled back to the right zone on the weekly, hasn't it? It's good. It looks good at the moment. And look,
the weekly looks all right, and that price action was interesting.
Given what we think of what's going to happen to the dollar index, I mean, you'd have to be bullish on this, wouldn't you? And it's doing all the right things in that regard. It's got, look, we know it's got headwind at 110.50. It's got headwind at 111 and 111.50 again. Like it's got headwind basically every 50 pips. So it's one of those ones where you need to be probably scalping it for those short-term moves. And I think you'll get quite a few good entries. And once it is moving, look, it's about to, I really want to see it close above all of the key moving averages on nearly every time frame, because then the momentum is strong. The 2-hour one's not far away here. Once all the moving averages are behind it on all the key time frames that we care about, I think it makes a big difference. And this is no exception. I don't mind it at all, really.
I don't know. I've got the weird X factor. Like I don't really feel like it's my preferred style, but it doesn't look terrible either. Let's move into.
It's not the best. It's not the best.
Let's move into the gold and the silvers, ties. So we'll just start off by having a look at this daily. We've got a long leg doji. We have a rejection here on gold. Now we know that gold reacts negatively to two things. Number one, strong dollar is not exactly great for gold. The other thing is if the market actually did tank and goes past like, let's say 4 or 5%, that's the SPY, the SP500, tends to actually pull gold with it. A lot of people don't think that happens, but that is generally the gist. So we have a low here from yesterday, Ty. We've got double rejections. We've got a big rally after that flash. So it really hasn't pulled back at all since that period. Let's have a look at it on the 1 hour chart so we can take a gander at what's going on here. Now, I know what you're going to say. What do you think, though, about that 1780? 1780?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of already... Gold's a funny one for me. I mean, it's kind of
what
already
about under here, though?
Yeah, but it's already done what we wanted it to do. We wanted it to get to that sort of 1790, 1780 to 1790. So it's kind of... Shouldn't we already be out of it? I mean,
but I'm not talking about longing it.
I know what you're saying, but I'd be looking for the reversal too. I mean, that's what you're looking for. There's probably what you should be looking for now, because the long should be already done. It broke out of that zone we wanted it to break out of, and the target was 1780. So, and this is what I've been saying for a long time now. Like we're not in the market just yet where you can just jump in and go along for the ride. You really want to be taking your profits at the levels until the market really, really starts to run, which it's not doing yet. You want to be taking your profits because you're going to get a lot more trades in. If you wouldn't want to be leaving this into 1900 at this stage, tell you what.
No, I don't think that this would be the kind of thing that I would look for to go long, like seriously long. Now, you close above here, okay, cool, the rally continues. But at this stage, what you're looking for is you're looking for this thing to get through the 50 on the 1 hour. Like it's found support there twice now. You want it to close below, get underneath this zone, and then you're day trade scalping it into the next level. And if it gets under there, you day trade scalping it into the next level, etc. That's the aim of what you're doing here. You're not. So, and then you also need to look at the daily. Like if you're not checking that daily, if you're in the short and seeing how it looks, I mean, if we came back tomorrow and let's say that it's bearish like this, so this candle fills in and goes underneath, I mean, that does not look good for gold.
No. I think it's a real time to keep your trade short at the moment. Like I said, I know I say it all the time, especially in these environments, but I think you've got to keep. I think you've got to keep them short, and you're going to make a lot more money that way. Know your markets. I know we talk about it all the time in the course. We talk about it in Discord, and we talk about it nearly every webinar. Understand the market that you're trading, and if you're trading a volatile sideways market, keep your trades short. Go for your targets. Take a lot of wins. You need to take your wins because that's how you're going to make money in a market like this. When it starts to run, we'll tell you. Don't worry. When it starts to move, then you'll start staying in longer. But this is not the time to be staying in longer just yet. And don't be afraid if it keeps going past where you've taken profit. That's just trading. As long as you're taking good risk reward, get in and out at the moment.
Yeah, that's the way I'd be looking at it. We've got a question coming in here from Robert Wilson. Just says, I'm asking about the pound dot. I think he's in the short there. Look, if you're in a short, I'm surprised your stop didn't get hunted then because it went above the wicks. That's where I would have usually had a stop. I guess like what I would say here, Robert, is in the future when you're looking at these types of trades, I know why people were taking shorts because they saw that rejection. They see a rejection wick. They put it against the other rejection wick tie. And then they think, oh, well, I'm going to be sneaky and get a little short in here. I'll show you the one we're talking about, probably like a 2 hour or something. And it's nothing against your type of trade or anything like that. You just needed to get a little bit lower for it to actually trigger off. This is not good enough for you to take a short against a very big long. Do not short against a bullish market in the future if you can help it, unless you're getting really good sequences. Like if you get this, then you close underneath and you get under that wick. Okay, sure. I believe it's going to the 18850, but you've got to understand those triggers. At this point, it's gone above. I mean, it's touch and go, but if it gets above those little highs that it made previously, I feel like it's not going to treat you well.
Robert, can you do me a favor? Can you send me, it doesn't have to be tonight, but at some stage in the next day or so, can you take a screenshot of where you shorted it and email Tyrone@fxevolution.com? I'd just like to see it because I'm just interested to see why you would have shorted, and I want to help you out and tell you why or why not you should have maybe not. So can you screenshot it and send it to me, please, and I'll reply to you personally.
Yeah, that's good, Ty. And I think there is no bad, there are bad trades, but you know what I mean? There's no badness that comes out of this stuff.
I'm not having a go at you, not in any way, shape, or form. I just want to make sure that if you did have a reason for shorting it, I'll say, well, that's fair enough. I can see where you're coming from, but gee, I just want to know where you did it. So just take a screenshot, send me an email, and I'll sort it out for you, okay? Awesome.
I think that's really good, Ty, because this is all about the community, the FX Evolution community, and the trading community. We learn, we improve our ways of doing it, and guess what? Hey, I've done it. I've counted, Ty's counted. We've done these things. We're just trying to say to you guys, if you follow the trend, you'll always notice. I say this to everyone, Ty. If you're looking on sentiment trackers of retail sentiment trackers, and you go and check out the Euro US dollar right now, I bet you it has a high percentage long. I bet you it has a really high percentage long. And most retail traders, 80% of them are probably long. And guess what most of the community is doing right now in FX Evolution? They are shorting that beast, or they have been shorting it because they knew it would have been long the whole way down here because they're not countering. And that's the key there.
100%.
All right, let's move into the next sections. Let's go into, I guess we've done gold. Silver itself, it is stupid right now. I'm not even touching silver. I'm not seeing any sweetness here. I wish I was, but that is a terrible comeback for silver considering gold. I mean, it should be up here by now.
We need, the chart's not on, Tom. We've got both of us on the chart.
That's all right. I'm moving over. What a piece of crap. All right, so we'll keep moving.
We didn't miss anything, to be honest.
No. That's why I said what a piece of crap. I don't care about it. We'll move over here to Nasdaq. That doesn't mean long term it's bad, by the way. It just means that right now it's not no tradey Tuesdays or tradey Wednesdays on that one. Let's go over to the Nasdaq. So Ty, we didn't get the close underneath the daily 20 here. This is the real market. We know that it's been rolling over for a little bit. So obviously I started ranting about this, probably, I would say late, maybe mid-July, early July. I started talking about the weakness that comes through after earnings in the Nasdaq. Obviously that starts to show its head usually in August into September. We've seen Chop City since then. Do we have a bearish closure? I would argue absolutely not at this stage. Today might be the teller. But so many tests of the 20 tie with very little peaks. What do you think? Neutralized?
Yeah. I think that tired child is starting to close its eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the tired child from last week.
was that the analogy from last week?
Yeah, the overtired child is starting to close its eyes. Mm-hmm. That's what I reckon. One Up says, why would silver be so boring with the market so wild? It's not so much that it's boring, One Up. It's more that when the market's wild and it's really volatile, it's just very difficult to trade, mate. And we don't want to be speculating on 50-50 trades. That's what you're really doing. So when the market gets a little bit wild, some pairs behave themselves in a technical manner and some don't. And silver's one of those ones at the moment that's just looking a little bit it's being quite
could be being manipulated. I don't know what the fundamentals are.
You got to be careful in these sorts of
right
markets. Yeah, I mean, you're going to get good moves. So make no mistake. I mean, you could take a couple of stabs at, you'll get some good moves, but that's not the way we play the game. We want stability, and we want to see a market behave itself from a technical standpoint. So that's why we say, we're not really interested in it. It's not so much that it won't move. It probably will move, probably more than we want it to, and that's probably the point. I think it'll move in a way that makes it difficult to trade. All right, so that's what we mean by that.
Dutch just checked sentiment with a few different brokers, and it's on the pound odd tie. They're all short.
Yeah,
no surprises there because they're all unfortunately getting hit up now. Yeah, so pound yen, we've got pound yen. We're with the QQQ. We're looking for the daily close underneath this. I actually want it underneath these wicks tie 364. Now I took the pleasure of opening. I took a few things from not that one. I took a few things from our private community. And guys, if you haven't checked it out, let me just quickly show you the cool tools in the private community right now. So we'll scroll down through this and then we'll put through here.
There are new things in here that I didn't even know about. These things literally got released this week from my understanding. And there's some really, really cool... You've got to see the new video, actually. There's a new video link, isn't there? Where's the new? I think Tom did a video today explaining some of the new features.
Yeah, it's in here, private community. It's also in the private general chat. But what I wanted to just show you guys is if you want to use this, and I really want you guys to use this because it's cool. So because we're getting to the stock market indices, you can put in tradie help, okay? And you guys get this for free being part of the membership community, and it usually comes at a decent cost. In fact, I think the cost per person is more than the cost for our membership. But yeah, look at all the cool tools there are here, Ty. So we can now put in all sorts of different things. And I just want to say this because we can actually put in here, I believe it's like Twitter. And what it will show you is it will show you the top tweet, everything that's being tweeted through the tweeters right now, the most popular stocks, the most popular kind of cryptos that are being discussed. This is important when we're talking about hype equity. We're talking about hype stocks in general. Now you move over to something else. Let's just have a look here. So I'll put in TR-chatter and you're going to notice something hilarious. So we'll put in WSB, which is Wall Street Bets, and look at them. Look at them all on the SPY. So this tells me straight away, if I wanted to know what the general retail community is thinking about the SPY right now, you could jump on over to Wall Street Bets, have a look. And if they're all tending towards the calls, and you guys know what I mean, they're basically all buying calls instead of puts, then that's usually a good reflection of the way the sentiment is right now. If they're all like, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, it makes more sense that this could be the real deal if it does break through. Other things that you can do, you can put in big movers so you can see all the largest moving stocks of the day. You can get dark pool data out of here. You can get flow maps, which I specifically like. Seasonality as well is really cool. So if you want a flow map of something, let's say it's, I don't know, Apple. You bring up flow map of Apple. It shows you where all the big calls and puts are. And this type of stuff is just really cool because it shows you a really good idea of where the flaws are in markets. So for an example of flaws, if we put in this and then we put in pins, which is a stock that's getting beaten up right now, if you had, like, when it's negative, what that means is there's a lot and more puts than calls at that zone. So this is puts minus calls or puts plus calls. It depends. So if it's negative, it means there's more puts there. If it's positive, there's more calls. It takes the 5 top strikes in expiration dates and it shows you them all. So there's not that much options flow here, but you can see it longer dated. There's a decent amount of puts and calls around that 40, 45 bracket. And if you had, like, let's say 45 and it was just put city, let's just say there were puts all over that expiring over the next couple of weeks. What that tends to do with technicals is it forms a base in the market. You get that accumulation. And then as this usually means that the market is most likely going to go up, actually, because we've got this huge put wall that isn't going to expire for a while. You see accumulation and you don't just go, oh, I see the options, I'm going to trade that. But you do then see the technical analysis. And if you see a breakout of accumulation, Ty, how good's that? At these zones.
Most definitely. Yeah, look, I think these little heat flow maps are probably
pretty good.
one of its best features. Like, realistically, if you're trading stock, you really want to be just looking at these, even if you don't trade options, understanding where the pressure points are and what you want to make sure you're not trading into a brick wall. And that's what those heat maps are really good for. Even if it's just a check before you place a trade, make sure you're not trading into a brick wall. That in itself is worth gold. Like, you really, really want to be doing that. So get used to it. If you have any questions on it, ask. Tom's an expert on this at the moment, especially. But just ask us because it's a big value add especially when you're about to place a trade. Make sure you're not trading into a brick wall that you can't see otherwise, right? This is not technicals. We're not talking about technicals here. We can see the brick walls on a technical level. These are the invisible technical levels that you would not know about if you didn't know. Like, options aren't going to show up on a technical chart.
And the options will marry up with the technicals. So what you'll find is that you're seeing a technical support and you're thinking, oh, I see the support here. The support was previously there. And there'll be a billion puts behind it. That's what And then in currency, the way that we used to do it, and unfortunately it's harder to get this options data in currency, you have to usually pay Bloomberg, is that you would see puts expiring. And those puts would wait, and then they'd just suddenly expire. And then all of a sudden, the floor would be dropped through and it would be like, woohoo! And it would go right down to the next level because it was just, they were huge puts. Like, we're not talking minuscule little $1 million here, $1 million there. We're talking a lot. So it's key.
And if you are an options trader, like, what better place to be placing your butterflies and iron condors than those zones where it's going to hover around with the timing. Not only do you have the timing, you've got the level it's going to hover around. Like, that's pretty sexy. That's very sexy, Brad. I know you're out there, Brad. You've been trading into a brick wall many times. This will help. It will, mate. Absolutely. Check it out. It's only new. Like I said, the heat map I only noticed on Tom's video today. It's only a new feature. So I reckon one of the most...
it only got released this week in that visualized format. The guy, look, I've been dealing with him. I've been telling him to upgrade certain things that creates this stuff for us. Well, for the communities anyway. And I feel like he's got a good data set here. Dark pool data is only 15-minute delayed, which is all you need for dark pool data. That shows you off-market transactions effectively. Got a question coming in here from Stephen Robinson. Says, Tom, does that represent all options market? Represents, obviously, the entire options market in the US stocks. And the good thing is some of our Australian stocks are cross-limited as well.
That'll be the Chicago Board of Exchange, Stephen. So yes, every option that goes through which is the biggest one. So that's the only one that matters, really.
Yeah, so it'll be through those levels. Let's just go over here to the indices, Ty. So today we're at an interesting point. Fake market futures have us at what I would guess is the key kind of fight zone here for the buyers and the sellers in the market. What are your thoughts on the break above this? So if we get, we can obviously see fake market futures coming in. They've pushed it up to this level. It's selling off here. This is, we get underneath this point, we allow the bears to get back in action, don't we? Back down to the 14,950 for the day, and then possibly even back into the lows. We break above this and close on a significant time frame. Then we're starting to talk about pullbacks to here and actually bullishness into these previous zones for the day. So there are some day trades coming into these indices. Yesterday was particularly easy. What do you think of that level?
Yeah, I think it's it's coming to that time where it's going to do something quite dramatic. And I think, I know 10% sounds like a lot, but I almost agree with old mate who said the 10% earlier on. I mean, that's very, very possible. And the market would welcome it probably. So 8 to 10%, I think, is very probable. Is it going to be on this particular level? Well, we know it's going to happen, more than likely in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It could easily happen today or tomorrow, or it might be a little bit more, I guess, reluctant to drop from here and maybe have one more little mini leg up. Is it going to go to new highs? I would highly doubt it now. I think that the new highs are probably over for this. I think you probably got a couple of scalps. I think it's got moving averages everywhere in front of it now. It's starting to struggle a little bit. But look, if someone asked about the FOMC minutes today, look, the market does fear that, absolutely. Any tempering talk does affect the market. It can be a little bit, worried about that, no question about that. They've got to be very careful with the words that they use. And, what we want to see, look, I'm not going to believe the story of the sell. Yeah, I'm not going to believe the story of the sell until we get 3 big negative days in a row. Okay, once we get that happening, then the ship does start to sink, because then you've got the retail traders all starting to hit their margin calls. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy then, and nothing will stop it from falling. But until that happens, these are the violent sort of swings. What I made a saying, and Thomas used to hate it because every time I said it, it would just annoy him. But this is when the crocodile's got its prey. You know what I'm gonna say? At the moment, the market's like the crocodile's got its prey, and it's in its death roll under the water. It hasn't quite killed it yet, but it's in its death roll, struggling for survival. And it's going to pop up above the water occasionally. That's what you might see. You might see it pop up for a little bit more breath, but at some point, the crocodile is going to win. No one gets away from the crocodile jaws in September. Do they, Thomas?
Oh, some years they do, but there are many reasons why they crocodile could have you in the death roll right now.
That was a malnourished crocodile. Malnourished crocodile had no strength.
I was going to say, I watched one of those documentaries recently, and the crocodile lost. Didn't get the buffalo. It had it. And then it failed, man. The buffalo scared the crocodile. I don't know what happened. Anyway, we've got stats coming in here. And this is actually an interesting comment. I haven't read on it, but I do know that PLTR bought gold. So, Tom, your comments on PLTR buying gold. I'll bring up PLTR for everybody. This is their favorite stock of many retail traders. Do you think something is going to hit the market in the coming days, or something big going to hit? I don't think it's really relevant, but it is. Here's the interesting thing. Are we starting to see a decade where, rather than holding fiat currency, companies that aren't investing in something else and not buying back their own stock, are they going to actually be buying assets? Because we've seen it now with Square buying Bitcoin, Tesla's buying Bitcoin, PayPal, all these companies are starting to buy different things. And we're seeing with suddenly PLTR, a fairly big stock. I don't know why they bought gold, but are they going to be buying these types of things? Non-fiat currency asset holding.
Well, I think it does act a bit of it as a defensive play in a sense. I mean, there's all sorts of reasons why everyone's buying out everyone else, but it is a bit of a defensive play. It's probably preempt. Look, it's not sensible. Like, I think they're just hedging their bets, really. It's not a bad play. Money's worthless, isn't it?
That's right.
Pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
What else are you going to buy?
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm wondering whether in the decade of these guys buying these kind of assets. Look, PLTR is coming back down to a key little level of support. Let's actually use the tool. Let's see what's going on here. And PLTR, let's see if it's in there.
While you do that, I'll answer Hyro's question. Should we be trading right now ahead of FOMC announcement tonight? I've already scaled into the Euro USD. Have you jumped the gun a little bit on the Euro USD, Hyro?
Probably has.
Are you breaking my rules? Because I don't see it close on a daily below 117, Hyro.
Don't think there's enough options data there on this particular stock to be definitive on anyway. But here we've got the resistance becoming support as an opportunity. We obviously see there's wick purchasing off this 0.71 up in the pre-market. Oh, look, it's okay. I mean, if you like this stock, it's at the right zone, isn't it? I mean, it's had an earnings announcement that seemed to be okay. It's had the long leg doji. It needs to hold above the 2340. But yeah, I don't think I'd remember. The thing is, the difference is, why does it matter? Has the situation changed because PLTR bought gold? I think that's irrelevant. I think the real it's all irrelevant long term or to the quite a few percentage spikes each way. It's like how when Tesla bought Bitcoin, people just bought Tesla. Well, that's stupid. That's not, that's not the way that you do investment. That's just the news and the hype train and people leading you to believe a certain narrative. It's like the narrative that we've seen several times this year, Ty. Oh, what was it? I think it was like you get free. AMC had all these narratives on it. In the reality was it's a pump. It's obviously there for the short squeeze and all these other stories that are bought into it. No, cut through the crap, guys. It's just one thing. There's a real reason that it's going up, and there is also a reason why it's getting hyped. And who's left holding the bag in the end is always going to be the person that believes these narratives. Do these narratives make sense long term or not? That's what you've really got to ask. Speaking of crypto, we are seeing a little bit of a pullback here, Ty. I'm looking for it to go to the 20 moving average for Bitcoin, or 42.5. It's had a great rally here. My kind of argument is maybe a pullback similar to the last one after the rally. So if you take top to bottom, it pushes through to down around this level. I'd like to see Bitcoin come down here. I think the weakness is setting in on the last couple of daily candles. We had rejection, bearish closure. Your thoughts? Bit further down here for this?
Yeah. I would like to see it down to the 20. It'd be good to get to the 20 moving average. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe a little bit more. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to... I reckon it's still going to, get its way to 50 again. Like, it's already done enough to probably indicate that, but it'd be nice to see it get back to the 20, bit more of a pullback. I know that weakens the trend a little bit, but I reckon it gives you... I wouldn't be entering right here. I don't like this level. No. But I see a pullback. I'll tell you why I like the pullback to the 20. Because if we draw a fib from that move, that pullback to the 20 would be about 38.2, I reckon. It would be very, very close to it. So it makes sense on multiple levels that, you can see there that zone, that's the big zone, the touch zone.
I like picking it up in these zones. 38.2 to 50 is where Ty and I like to see the price action turn around.
That's the sweet spot. Yeah. So we're not looking at that sort of short-term move that's sort of pulling back and looking a little bit weak, and draw the fib for the big move. That's what you really want to be doing. And that is the happy place. I hope, is that okay, Channel X? I know Channel X was getting a little bit grumpy today, even though he's got a question mark, and I can see that there was...
yeah, Channel X is fine.
Look, Channel X? We were going to cover it for you, don't worry.
we get there in the end, man. We'll get there in the end,
man.
Ethereum, I also like. I actually would also like this come down just underneath 3,000. I feel like that would spook out a few people. Again, just good reload zones. Look at the weekly here. We're starting to actually jump away from the weekly 20. Now, that's not unusual for Ethereum. No. You can see it moves heavily away from it, but that's a big extension. And what tells me is when I went on the Ticker News a little while ago, Ty, and we were discussing, the Square acquisition. And what we also discussed was every single person was buying Bitcoin and Ethereum. There was no sellers. There was no BTC shorts. There was nothing like that. It was just buy. A few days ago, everyone started saying $500,000 Bitcoin. Now, when that happens, you got to pull it back, guys. You got to pull it back, scare them out, and then let it go back up. I actually do believe that Bitcoin and Ethereum, they look like they're really setting in some good levels here. But I would like to see this one.
$500,000 Bitcoin.
Easy. That's what they're saying. Easy. But this reminds me of when we had $10,000 Ethereum as well as a call. And the problem with those is they don't look at market cap size. Everyone just assumes Bitcoin's going to be the same size. They all say it's going to become the same size as gold. And the problem is that takes a long time for something. You need the super funds in. You need big funds in, not just...
But outrageous comments like that aren't new. And you'd say if it was only retail traders doing it, you'd say they don't know what they're doing. But you know what? There was a time when the Aussie dollar... This is probably... the Aussie dollar was... about nearly touching 110.
Almost.
And a lot of very, very astute judges and analysts were calling 140 and 150 on it. And that just seemed absolutely ridiculous. Like, that was just a ridiculous comment at the time. We knew it. And it was actually one of the best all-time shorts at 110 to be truthful, and it was a happy trading at that
level.
level.
Even
one
Soros,
day we'll revisit it. When the market's not moving, one day we will revisit that 110 to 17 to 15 level, because that was technical perfection, and it was like people were making cars on trades in that period. It was absolutely amazing. But yeah, so outrageous comments aren't unusual, but
and buying really US market with odd at 110. The currency trade alone got you about 40-50%. It was crazy, guys. Craziness.
It was outrageous.
So almost every crypto looks like it's kind of having that little bit of a pullback in it, Ty. Yeah. And it makes sense to do that. Great moves. Awesome to see it coming back to life again. And then now we're looking for little bits of pullbacks here. Same with ADA. This is Cardano. I'm looking for that to come back to the 20. Just ran a little bit too hot. Get some of that steam off there and bring that back down to earth. Other things that we're watching, of course, we'll be checking out IWM, which is the Russell 2000. Got that thing trapped up for anyone that doesn't know. US 10-year will be another one. You know, if I was looking at this and I was looking for follow-through action, it makes a compelling case for saying the 10 years actually going to go up here. We've got rejection. What if we get the bullish close or bullish movement through this 20 tie? Is that suddenly looking actually pretty good to the long for the 10-year?
Yep.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Yep.
Bizarro.
No, it is so strange.
Yeah. 10-year potentially going up there at the same time. Let's keep moving through. We've got a few stocks that we can look at. So we've got specifically, I wanted to discuss Amazon. So I want to bring Amazon up because it got through a trend line, and this was the first sign that maybe the market wasn't all by the dip. And I want to just assure people that this is very normal for Amazon to go through a bit of crap over August, and it tends to be after usually the earnings result. So we see here on Amazon, the month of August is kind of, over the last 20 years, is a bit of a crap month. The month of September, actually slightly positive. The month of October, terrible. And then a glorious November for Amazon. So it actually has usually a stronger kind of start session than it does. This is just seasonality, a stronger start session than it does, through the back end of the year. And I think November, it starts to hype up. And why? Because it's the biggest day of the year, guys. Black Friday, Thanksgiving, purchases, people talking about record sales, record this, record that, and it tends to run the stock. So not Cyber unusual Monday, that Amazon's down here.
It's a whole lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Cyber every day now. Who knows? They've got a sale for everything. But this price action is still moving down at this stage. It really wasn't a buy the dip scenario. It had that blow through. Every single retail trader was buying the dip. What I would have preferred to do is wait for it to stabilize, break through here. And if it did, then of course you're looking for the gap close. At this stage, Amazon continues to weaken. And I don't know really where it ends. I mean, whether it ends at 3,100 or 3,000, I'm not sure yet, or even at 2,900. But there will be a good point for Amazon. So I think it's something I'm going to watch heavily over the next month, because if it gets low enough, could be a good buy.
I think it's shorting because Jeff is suing NASA. He's suing NASA. Yeah, because of his Blue Planet or whatever he calls his spaceship.
Really?
He didn't get the because they're giving the contract for the moon landing to Elon, and apparently NASA promised it to both of them, so he's suing them. He's suing NASA. And he's using Amazon's money to do it. I don't take my word for that, but I'm assuming that's what he's doing. He's probably not using his own money, but yeah, that's what he's doing. I heard that tonight. He's suing NASA apparently. Okay. You heard it here first.
Oh, there you go.
You don't believe me, do you? You don't believe?
No, who knows? I'm telling you, Bezos needs some of his money back. You know, he's lost a lot.
Peter Hitchener said it tonight on the news, and Peter Hitchener does not lie.
That's why you don't watch the news, people. Peter Hitchener is telling us financial advice.
They are absolutely suing NASA. They are, and it's going to cost billions. That's what they said.
And then it'll be one of those things. It's like suddenly they win, and then who knows? The thing with US stuff is it's always like some crazy number to begin with when they win the sue. And then after about 10 other counter sues and all this, it turns out to be what? Nothing. Very little. It's bizarro. Here we have the 20 moving average on snow. This still looks fine.
Go back to the chart.
I'll switch the chart. There we go. Yeah. So we've got the 20 moving average here. We've got the movement up. Look, I still like snow. This is one of the only IPOs. It's actually on almost a year now. When did it actually launch? 16th of September. So it's getting close. It's had some good trade in it. Again, this will suffer if the rest of the market suffers. So if we see the US 100, the Nasdaq come back down today, Snow will suffer. Daily 20 is all imperative to hold up at this stage. Let's take a look at the VIX tie. Volatility index still underneath 20. Generally, I would say every time we've ever seen like a corrective dip and a proper close below, we usually get a closure above the 20, don't we, on the VIX? So I'm looking for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get it. We'll get it very soon, I think. And that's your warning. You know, it's probably not a bad place to put an alert to. Like if you've got one of those platforms that allows you to put an alert on the VIX, it's probably not a bad place to put it because that'll alert you to the action. It has to be over 20 for the markets to really start to move. So it's not a bad place to set an alert because it gives you that knowledge straight away that something is happening, and that's not generally a move up on the things you want to go up.
No, it's not.
Even though it doesn't necessarily mean that, right? Like VIX, a VIX at 30 doesn't mean the market's going down, but most of the time it does. So, yeah.
I don't care what they say. I'm going to call that thing the fear index, guys.
It is the fear index, but make no mistake. If the market shot up, 10%, the VIX would still be going over 30. But generally speaking,
in one day,
moves, So that's what you got to be mindful of. Even though it doesn't absolutely give you the direction, generally that's what happens.
Mm-hmm. That is true. We've got a question coming in about Barber. What are our thoughts here? It's so untouchable, guys. Even though it's on our technical little support here that we've got, it came down to a multi-year low. The negative press is getting fierce on it. The problem is going to be, look, I mean, can you really put that much money against these types of things? The geopolitical situation is the big issue here. I don't care about whatever they say, China cracking down or whatever. This is a geopolitical thing. And with this Afghanistan stuff, I feel like it's all coming to, there is going to be an issue at some point, and that's what people are trying to price in. Yeah. Things like Baidu, Ty, I mean, someone said to me today, and I haven't verified it, something like it's trading 7 or 8 PE with a 1.4 billion cash in the bank or something. You know, this is the type of thing that seems cheap on paper, but there's just so many problems with it. And from a technical, I always say, and Ty says as well, we're not catching that falling knife. We've learned better. There was a time over here, which I would have said, we've got the base kind of going through here, this movement above, I'm feeling pretty bullish. And even the trend line was going good. It all looked good. Yeah. But you put it in for a trade, you have a stop loss, and you're not sitting here right now crying about it at 170 because there was no other entries.
Yeah, and I think this is why you need to really open your mind to the fact that there's so many different things that you can trade. Look at the stuff that we've covered tonight. I reckon we've probably identified 10 to 12 really high-quality trades across the board. Why on God's earth would you want to trade this? You just leave it alone until it settles down. Mm-hmm. There's a time and a place, and, it's just too much of a gamble at the moment. Could it find support there? Yeah. I mean, could it land on the trend line and go up? Yeah. It could. But geez, it doesn't, from a technical standpoint, I don't know, there's too much going on. When there's a lot of noise and the market's not, relating to the technicals properly, it worries me. So I think there's a lot better trades out there. Let this one settle down. And it probably goes for a lot of Chinese stocks. It's not just this one.
So we've got some other comments coming in here. Firstly, Dannyism says, Asia ETF is the dog of my investments. Yes. But remember, only a few months ago, it was the best. It was actually one of the top performing ETFs in Australia, Ty. Then we also have Hiru coming in here and saying George Soros has sold all Chinese stocks, apparently. Yes. And so Kathy Wood also is reduced. But look, when did they reduce? That's the most important factor here. It's all about when did they reduce? Did they reduce a month ago and it's being filed now? Did they reduce a week ago? Did they reduce a day ago? That's the important factor because this will turn around. I'm sure of it at some point, unless there's some geopolitical disaster. They may have sold over here and they're laughing at you right now because they're about to rebuy. Yeah. We'll see it in the price action.
The point is, Hamindu, hopefully I said your name right. Yeah, mate, I think there's better trades out there. So, probably look at it and watch it, but let it settle down. I think you can do a lot better by looking at something a little bit more steady. That's hard to trade. And you're guessing, and you want to be taking the guesswork out of trading. That's the whole idea, right?
That is the idea, Ty. We've got
Well, I did
NVAX.
see a meme. I'm going to touch on a meme that I saw actually in our room. I'm not sure who posted it, but I could not stop laughing. It was the one where the trader, what his friends think he does, what his family thinks he does, and what he actually does, and he's sitting in a pokie machine. That is not what we want, right? You do not want to be. Where is it? That was it was actually a really.
You sure you don't want to be like, I don't know when that one is, but I'll show you this one as well. This is just on Wall Street Bets that I was watching. I was like laughing. Here we go. Look at this. Yes, it's feeling good, Ty. I got that good feeling about this one. Yes. Oh, yeah, baby. We're 42% up. And no, that wasn't. That's exactly what I think is going on right now for a lot of people. Yeah.
Oh, that's gold.
So, yeah, I think the story today is pretty much there are other trades around. There's plenty of good currency trades. There's good stock trades to be had. We are neutralized a little bit on the US 100, waiting for more info, but it makes sense. I mean, how can you like this? You're in day trades right now, guys. You are literally timing this thing down to like a 1 hour, etc. You know,
that memes page is that memes channel is actually worth being in the private community just for that.
Oh, the public
that's
one.
Just
this is public.
Is that in the public? We need to put that behind the paywall.
No.
The paywall needs to go behind the paywall.
The paywall, yeah. That's
that's funny.
Like the bear one. Anyway, there's plenty in there, guys. If you're not in the Discord community, why not just jump on in there? So, Ty, story for stocks. I think this is the time you have a plan. For people in the private community,
100%.
You guys got to have plans. You got to pick the stocks you want. You've got to figure out levels that you're interested in buying them. If we do see, a corrective dip here, just select your top 10. Select your levels. Set alerts.
Understand where we are in the market. Yeah. There is going to be some really, really good buying opportunities in probably your favorite positions, very, very soon. Get your levels ready. Identify where you want to buy them. How you're going to buy them is up to you, whether you're going to buy them with calls or puts or... and when we say puts, we mean like, selling puts below a level. We've talked about that in the past. So sell puts to, and if it gets to that level, you own the stock, which is fine. So you're going to get it at a discount anyway. It's going to be a prime time for it. Don't be afraid of a pullback. Embrace it. Embrace the pullback, because now is not a time to buy. Pullback's a time to buy. I'll put that in. I'll put that in a tile for you, Dr. Horton.
You want a tile? Pullback's the time to buy, damn it.
Take the guesswork out of trading, says Ty. Yes, absolutely, Dr. Horton. 100%. You want to be doing that, and I man, that's all jokes aside. You do want to take as much of the uncertainty and guesswork out of trading as you can. We've got enough evidence to help us. Use it. You got to use it.
I think Kilted got a good little movement here. I'm not sure what just happened there. Kilted got a good little movement here early in the week, Ty, just with this KO CCL. Like this is a defensive type stock. So your consumer staples. I'll just quickly zoom in here. Consumer staples. And these types of positions, utilities, etc., they tend to do well if the market does go bad. In fact, they can go up. So we're at the tippity top here, 57.54. And while it may not look like much, this little closure that happened here, if you get that at the close, the next day being bullish into this level is highly statistically likely. We've got two rejections, we've got a bullish close, and that doesn't sound like much, but there are ways of making that become a lot better return. And I'm still looking at this. Now I'm looking for it above the 57.50. I mean, do we like that close above their tie? I would.
Yeah. When the market pulls back, people get desperate and they start to drink Coke, and Coke's just going to go up. That's
like
right.
McDonald's. In fact, Coke and
McDonald's stock doesn't go down in a recession.
That's the thing. I actually bought a lot of McDonald's.
It's true
because last year I went on obesity index purchasing, Ty. Obesity index purchasing, and that was the idea. And you know what? It worked. I mean, you can look up the obesity index if anyone doesn't know. It's like obesity solar active, something like that. Well, I probably need to spell obesity right. There it is. And you've got here the obesity solar active index. It's not going down. This thing just keeps going up, man. Look at this. It's a dominator. Let me move over to the dominator. Here's the we're over there. We're over there. It's okay. We're here now. The dominator obesity index. I'm more obese than I was last year, so therefore it's it's working out. We're not even allowed to go to the gym. I'm stuck. So the point is that you can
I'm
have
lucky.
these
I've got my own gym, and I'm not in lockdown.
I know
anyway.
you're fine there in the half country, half city area with the beach.
Absolutely.
You got the beach, the river, living the life, not in lockdown. But here I am in the big city, getting just destroyed with all of our other people around. But yeah, look, it's a good index, and it just shows you that this type of thing, if it makes sense and it's based on human psychology, it can play out.
It's a thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
PK Suburban says, I thought we were already in a pullback, so it can get worse. Question mark, mate. Can it get worse?
Whoa. Where's PK?
PK Subban thinks we've had a pullback and could it get worse? He's asking the question, mate. It can get a lot worse than that, mate. We have not had a pullback. We're going sideways at the moment. At the moment, the market is uncertain, but a pullback is an 8 or 10% move, mate. Like we're sort of talking about a big move. No, we have not had a pullback yet. All it's done is had little mini pullbacks to a key moving average. So it can get a lot worse. A lot worse.
Yeah, this is not a pullback.
This is not a pullback.
Look at this. I mean, you just have to look at a weekly. I mean, obviously over here, there's been these were pullbacks. Absolutely, totally fair, good pullbacks. And then we've had nice rallies, and we've had little pullbacks along this rally. For people that say we haven't had pullbacks, we have, and they've been okay. I mean, I think that these, when you're getting like a 14% pullback, that's actually a very nice pullback.
Yep.
But this is nothing now.
No, this is nothing. An 8 to probably 15% pullback is what a reasonable pullback will be. And you can expect that. And that's not even uncommon. The market will pull back 15%. No one will even blink an eye. So, yeah, just be prepared for that. If you've only just started trading, mate, be prepared. The market can definitely pull back 10 or 15%. And it could do it in a matter of days, let alone weeks.
I'm just having a look at this.
In the good old days, the Dow and the SP500 were, in the really violent times, they were moving 5 and 6% in a night.
Oh, last year, honestly, that was like apoplexy. When I was watching it, I wish I was kind of live. Well, actually, I didn't because we had to trade. But like the live streaming, if I was live streaming back then, holy moly, I'd never seen so many hits. 7%, just bam, let's go in. We're locked down for 15 minutes. Oh, we're back open and we're down again. It was crazy.
In fact, Thomas assures everybody that the first open on the S&P 500, and we will hold him to this, the first time the S&P opens 5 or 6% down, he's going to stay live for the whole trading session. Okay, so that's Thomas's pledge. Thomas's pledge.
Well, it opens 5% down.
If it opens 5% down,
I'll stream the whole
Thomas
day.
is going to stay live for the whole session.
That ain't happening. we might have like a 4% down day, Ty. But statistically as well, if anyone's interested in these types of stats, did you know that there's actually a very high correlation with if you've lost I think it's like over 3.5%, 4% in a day on the SPY or on the Nasdaq, that the next day will be green. Now it's not going to be green by 3.5%, 4%, but it actually is very statistically likely the next day is green with a flash crash. Very important. It has to be flash and it has to be very big. I'll pull those stats up for people. But
actually, the irony will be that if the market did open down 5%, it would actually be closed for the first 15 minutes anyway, wouldn't it? Because of the freeze.
Look at this comment. Did he go silent like the BTC day? Yes. Oh, no. We were going crazy. I've got to say, when it was going 7% down, I was flabbergasted for about an hour, and then we went nuts. Then Ty and I were looking crazy. I still remember selling puts, Ty, last year, 4,400 ASX 200.
Oh, that was a glorious day.
Getting 12% premium.
That was an absolutely glorious
12% premium that was on 90 days.
Yeah. That was amongst probably amongst the easiest money we've ever made, to be honest.
That is true. 12% on 90 days. It was glorious. I would have taken them too. I would have full cash settlement. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, good. All right, let's continue. Actually, I think we're pretty much done here, Ty.
We've got to wrap this up, man.
we're going to wrap this puppy up. But look, it's been a great. I think this new platform is definitely much better. Do you guys enjoy it? We can bring your little comments.
I think my audio. A lot of people said my audio is a lot better tonight, so that's awesome. So hopefully
it is, but you're lagging, unfortunately.
Am I lagging? Am I? Oh,
Yeah, I think so. Maybe others don't hear it, but I am. But the audio it seems to be fixed, which is good.
great.
I think it's a lot more interactive as well, Ty, which is good.
Yep. Yep.
Cool.
That's awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. I guess the moral of today is there are some trades. They're not necessarily long-term kind of positions at this stage. We're not seeing that type of setup at this point. We do have some interesting stuff going on in the 10-year. If you want to look at the 10-year daily, I think that's a very interesting double kind of rejection here, looking for that follow-through to the bull side, just because it makes sense. I mean, it's 2 weeks, and if it can bust through here, it should be all right. We got gold also to the weakness side. If it does come through, we've got dollar index on the bull side over the next week. We've got a couple of different currencies. And of course, for the markets, all eyes on US 100. We are looking specifically for this thing to close below the daily 20.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Loving the new platform. Hopefully everybody enjoyed. We are going to... Tomorrow night, I must say, actually, for all of you who are coming to live Q&A, it's beginning at 9 p.m. To 10 p.m. So it's not starting at 8:15 tomorrow night for the next few weeks, actually, because I've double booked myself and I'm doing mentoring. And I forgot that we had Q&A a little bit earlier. So to suit the mentor people, we've moved that out a little bit. So Q&A is going to be from 9 p.m. Melbourne time to 10 p.m. Okay, so it can be an action-packed affair from 9 p.m. all the way till midnight. You can go straight into Thomas's live stream from then, have a bit of a cup of cocoa, and you'll be all set for Thomas's stream. So thanks very much for joining us tonight. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Wait. Don't finish up. We've got to just quickly do one thing. The mentoring you're talking about, this was already predetermined. So for the other people interested in the mentoring, they'll be releasing, I believe, next week, our coder. He went on a siesta, guys. We're not allowed to go on siestas, but he siested for like a week and a half. He's back next week. So he'll have that up, and we can launch it. So don't worry, it's still all coming. If you're interested in that, you can check it out next week. And Sat's coming in here for one last question. Tom, correct me if I'm wrong. For more than a week, PCC is 9+ every single day. If a retail trader wants the market to go down, will Wall Street go out of way? Definitely not. That's correct. But with PCC, 0.9 is not exactly a monster reading here. I'll just quickly bring it up. I don't know. Maybe I'm lagging. But anyway, 0.99 is not a monster reading. It's like over 1 is a monster reading. You are correct. It's higher. Usually speaking, you want it to be about like a 0.6. However, this takes into account everything. So PCC is okay to look at. It's not the only thing. Markets can fall down even if it's up here. But yes, you don't want it really, really high. So ideally, it drops to like a 0.8. We'll see how they play the game. Sure. All right, guys.
Hamindo, sorry, all the links that you're after are in the underneath the YouTube screen, mate. So he's asking about some subscriptions and the sale that we've got on. So yeah, if you want to learn Forex, or if you want to learn trading in general, really, all the links are in the just below the page there. So you'll be able to click on any of those, or just email us at support@fxevolution.com and we'll be able to help you out. Thank you so much. Brad, another question from Brad. Is a schedule for Monday's stream? Is there a schedule, or is it just when it happens? Generally, Thomas does that when when you see people online and when you're pretty much seeing some action.
I know when I'm available, honestly.
Yeah, it's Monday's a tough day. The replay's always up, but sometimes it can get up a little bit late because it's quite a long stream. So unfortunately, Brad, it's not scheduled. Not like Q&A. And Tuesday, MarkWatch is a bit the same. I only put that up. It's generally within a couple of hours of the time, but it's really when the market's presenting. The only things that are absolutely scheduled for a particular time are the Wednesday webinars, of course, Thursday Q&A, and Friday market wraps usually around the same time. So we try to keep them as close as possible, but sometimes, life gets in the way and work gets in the way. So, all right, thanks everyone. Thank you very much. We'll see you in the Discord room soon, and we will look forward to seeing you at the Q&A and, of course, in the Discord privates. Thanks, everyone.
All right. Thanks very much, everybody. Catch you later. Bye for now.